From the very inception, there have been forces at work that have always tried to manipulate and destroy us and to control us. We are not a people to be controlled or to be reckoned with. Whether it's the English invasion or the War of 1812, or whether it's the Civil War, whether it's World War I or World War II, every time we have defeated you. And I can go on with countless numbers when we defended ourselves and the cause of liberty. We are a people forged in the furnace of freedom. And that is the point I'm driving here. However, our approach, our values have been changed for us. Somewhere along the line, our stuff, our values became subject to political correctness, compromise, and tolerance. All the forces, all the enemies, the evil that we have faced in prior conflicts finally realized we cannot win in a frontal assault. So they began a new approach, an insidious plan. And we have been subjected to little doses of big government until it grew into soft tyranny. And this in turn has become a great source of a loss of freedom and liberty, like the frog in a slow-boiling pot of water. Then, as the soft tyranny grew, piece by piece, and became hard tyranny, and they stripped our religious liberty, our ability to protect ourselves. And now we find ourselves on the edge of a very steep cliff, staring into the abyss of socialism. That's what we fought in all the prior wars. Some form of control. But I'm here to remind you the stuff we are made of, to pull us back from the edge of our own destruction. Socialism, communism, progressivism, whatever you want to call it, is not the stuff we are made of. It's in our DNA to fight it. There has been too much unneeded, preventable suffering for those who claim to love America while changing it into a big government socialist state. And that ends today. No matter how you label it or describe it, our prior enemy has taken control. We must take action to preserve what little of our republic and way of life we have left. We must restore constitutional order. Again, I will not sugarcoat it or mince words. This will be difficult. However, we must act to the betterment of our futures as we have in the past and as we need to do today. We are going to change and correct our path. We are going to change our destinies once again. We are going to honor our heritage, our ancestors, our founders, these brave men and women who sacrificed everything so that we could know freedom, and that will not be in vain. We have come too far to surrender. We are fathers, mothers, sisters, brothers, and we're sure as hell not going to let our children live in tyranny or subjects to be ruled by an overreaching, out-of-control government who has no interest whatsoever in preserving constitutional order. Most importantly, we're not going to disappoint our families. We will not look in the innocent eyes of our little girls and our little boys and admit we have failed them Now is our time. Because we are Americans and that's the stuff we are made of. We created this government via the consent of all governed to form a more perfect union, not to be our masters. Thomas Jefferson had it right when he said, when the people fear the government, there is tyranny. When the government fears the people, there is liberty. Or when, in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for a people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them. Understand, there is a point, and we are here. We're here at the fork in the road. You must decide. The battle lines have been drawn. Those who believe in the cause of liberty and those who pervert it. Also, understand there is no middle ground. There's no gray area. Those who sympathize and those who pervert liberty are no different than those who pervert liberty directly. And there are only two sides to this conflict, and that's what it is for the very hearts and the very souls of every American. Because we know American power doesn't come from our armies or our weapons or anything else. It comes from the will and the thirst for liberty, and that is the inherent state of the American people. We will no longer accept your false labels and your false prophets who pervert the name of liberty and the cause of power and control. We have a tyrannical toward that bypassed our gates, set up armies on our soil, and they're steering our liberties at will. America will never be America again until we purge this cancer. What say you, my brothers and sisters? Will you fight for your families? Will you fight for your homes? Will you fight for freedom? Because I still believe you have the stuff that we are made of.